Oh, Watch Dogs. A game that everyone seems to love to hate right now for really no reason. It's not even out yet officially, although people with physical copies have been able to play it on Uplay like this. First off, we're going to take a look at the options menu because I know a lot of people are wondering about the display options. I'm able to max it out on my rig without any problems. The big thing that everyone's worried about is the video memory of your video card. It has to be 3 gigabytes apparently for Ultra, but I have heard from people that even though they don't have 3 gigabytes of VRAM, it's not an issue for them to run it in Ultra. Settings was important for me to show off because I wanted everyone to see exactly what they were getting. A lot of people were worried that this was a port from the console version of the game, which I highly doubt. Honestly, I really don't think it is. We're going to dive right into it. I've spent a bit of time with it, and the reason why I did is because going through the Steam's forums for this game, people are freaking out. They think the game's going to be horrible, they're canceling pre-orders, and to be completely honest with you, when I saw Watch Dogs for the first time at E3, I was interested, but it wasn't at the top of my games to like. I'm more excited for Among the Sleep and The Forest than I ever was for Watch Dogs. So it didn't really matter to me if I even got to play the game at all in the first place, but I hate seeing people on the forums panicking like that because I know what it's like to be extremely excited for a game, and then as it gets closer to release, you start to worry if it's not going to meet up to the expectations that you've built up in your head. And I find that a lot of the time, when a game gets hyped up like Watch Dogs has been, it really just builds this false sense of perfection, that this is going to be the best game ever to hit shelves, ever. And when you do that, you really make a lot of leeway for disappointment. So we're going to start off by just letting you guys watch this opening video, and then once we get back into the gameplay, I'll tune back in.
You got a nasty security system. How much we got?
100 grand in 30 seconds. God bless the rich and famous. We are the modern day magicians, siphoning bank accounts out of thin air.
Can you hear yourself? What was that?
Hello. I think someone else is hacking in. Let's take a peek.
Let's not.
Stick to the plan, Damien.
Siphon the accounts and get out.
Adventure, my boy. Have faith in your mentor. Something triggered that alarm. Let's find it.
Shit. It's using the system.
I'm almost there.
I'm shutting down now.
Don't you touch a thing. What the hell is that?
We need to abort.
We are not done. Help me.
Damien, it's over. I'm disconnected.
Maurice,
Yeah?
you're on. One of our contractors ran a search for the hackers in the Merlot job. You're assigned Aiden Pierce. Take him out. Hit the family if you need to. This guy's hacking days are done.
Hate the family?
Got a problem?
Nope. I'll scare him good. You'll never hear from him again.
Okay, so a little bit of story there, obviously, in the intro. As you can tell, the voice acting is actually not bad. One thing I want to stress is that for those of you worrying that on Ultra the game doesn't look good, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Ubisoft did a good job making sure this game looks great, both indoors, lighting, outdoors. It's just great. When it comes to lighting, sometimes it seems a little bit overdone, but that's all stuff that can be changed. There is a little bit of worry also that it might not be optimized as best as it could be. But really, that's to be expected when a game first comes out. I fully expect there to be day one patches, or at least patches within the first couple weeks that'll fix everything, especially when you have video card drivers coming out to support the game. I really don't think people have anything to worry about, especially to the point where they're canceling pre-orders. Another big worry is that it uses Uplay. I don't know if people are having multiple issues with Uplay that I'm just not, but I rarely have any issues with Uplay. I understand it's one more thing on your computer that has to be running while you play the game, but part of my language, but who gives a shit? Honestly, it works. It doesn't cause any other problems, at least not for me. If you have experienced problems, be sure to let me know in the comments, because I would like to know that I'm just not talking things. I did have a little issue here where it wouldn't let me shoot, and I had to kind of re-aim the gun to try and do it again, and eventually it did click. So I was a little worried that me showing this game, I was like, great, I never experienced any problems before, but now that I show it, I'm gonna experience a bunch of crap. But I'm happy to say I didn't really run into that. One of the things I really did like is the fact that your coat that you're wearing actually moves around as you walk, and like if you're near an air vent or something, it'll be blowing around and stuff like that. And a lot of people were worrying about the skill tree, saying the skill tree is useless. Most of the skills in this game sound badass, and some of them are really cool to use. It really changes exactly what you can hack and just how much you can affect the world around you. Although some of them, you have to be in the right situation for them to be useful, or you're just never going to use them.
Yo, Maurice! Yo, what's shaking, motherfucker?
Now you'll notice when I talk about the coat flowing with the air, there's a part coming up in a few seconds here where I'm going to be standing over an air vent, and you'll actually see the coat sort of flapping around. See right there? He's standing on an air vent, and I love that cloth physics there. I think that is little stuff like that I always find extremely cool.
Where you been anyway?
I had to make a call. And you get what you need from Maurice? Oh, you're kidding me.
Let's clean this mess up. Stop admiring your work.
Hey, that's cute and all, but I'm disappointed, Pierce. I mean, you failed to spot
Now, I have to admit, I was a little worried too, because I know the review embargo for this game was initially set to lift on the day of the game's release, and when a company does that, it does make me worry a little tiny bit, because why don't you want people reviewing your game before it comes out? If you're confident in your work and you're confident in the game you've created, why don't you want people seeing how great it is before it? That's just going to bring in more orders if people are happy with your game. And from the time I spent with it, I'm thinking on like GameRankings.com and on Metacritic, I think you're going to see this game hit anywhere from 75 to 90. I don't know if it's going to go above 90, but it's definitely not a bad game. This is a game that I am happy that I did purchase, even though I wasn't thrilled about it. And I was lucky enough to be able to make this video for you guys, because for once I actually decided to get a physical copy through Uplay. Now here you're going to notice the cover mechanics. I love it when games use cover mechanics like this, where you can pick where you want your next cover to be, hit a button, and you'll automatically move there. I find it makes cover transition a lot smoother when you're in the heat of gunfights, or when you're trying to sneak around. You're not bumping into things, trying to scramble to cover, get into that perfect spot. You can pick your cover beforehand and without any issue.
Squad, we've got 2 bodies in the basement of May Stadium.
Now, I've tried to record this as close to YouTube's optimization as possible. It is in 1080p, running at 60 hertz, so it should be alright. And I got a solid 60 frames per second the whole time I was playing this. While driving through the city, you will notice pop-in of cars, which all they really need to do is increase the render distance of vehicles and people, which modders can fix that, which I'm not too worried about. Hell, Ubisoft could patch that. But as you can see, hopefully in this video, this is not an ugly game on Ultra. This game looks great, in my opinion. This is not something you should be worried about, and it's definitely... When they said it was developed on the PC, I honestly believe that. I know a lot of people out there don't. They say it's a console port, but not many console ports have that many graphics options in the graphics options. And I honestly can't see, even a PS4, which I've been playing a lot of recently, I can't see a PS4 pumping out graphics as good as this with such a solid frame rate. Although Ubisoft has said that the PS4 will play the game as if it was being run on high settings.
Hey, you, sir.
Another thing I have noticed is they have done a great job making every citizen you see on the street have sort of a unique background. Like, I haven't come across anyone yet who has the exact same issue when you highlight them, which that was one thing I was worried about. I didn't want to run into a bunch of people who were in the same situation, a bunch of the same like citizen models all over the city, and it's definitely nothing that I really had to worry about after seeing the game.
Everything's connected to the CTOS with serious firewall.
Right now, I need to get out of the stadium.
Now here you're going to see once again the extent of how useful hacking can be and just how deep you can use the hacking feature. I'm going to make my way through the security system to block out the stadium to try and make my escape.
We need to get moving on it. We're not going to evacuate 40,000 people so we can play cowboys and Indians, but you got an isolated incident.
Now I am playing this with the Xbox controller. When you are in the menus, there is a mouse smoothing thing or a mouse acceleration that you cannot disable, and holy crap is it sensitive. There is a way that someone found to disable it, and I'll post instructions on how to do that if I can find those instructions again in the comments for those of you who play with a mouse and keyboard and don't want to deal with all that crap, because holy crap is it sensitive. Like, I've never seen it that sensitive, and I kind of am surprised they don't give you an option to turn it off.
Where are you, Jordy?
What? Gone. I'm allergic to cops. So's Maurice. But don't worry, I left you a present.
Now this was one of those moments where when I was first playing and I opened up this door, I was like, crap, that is a lot of light. And I'm sure
Gotta go.
it sort of makes sense, but at the same time, I think they overdid it a little tiny bit. I would like to tune that down just a tiny bit. This part is cool. When all the electricity comes back in, you really see like all the colors all of a sudden at once, and I just thought that was the best thing ever. I decided to take this car right off the bat because I wanted you to see how cop chases work, and you're gonna see my only issue with the game up here. I'm going to hit a lot of stuff. The driving controls aren't horrible. I've definitely played games where they were worse, and I really don't think it's an issue, or at least not as big of an issue as people are worried it is. So here you're going to see my problem. I've just hit a goddamn telephone pole. I'm about to completely nail this guy, and I don't feel the damage to my vehicle represents that at all. A little dent on my hood and a sideways license plate, I'm someone who, when I'm playing a game like this, I love crashes. I love seeing my car get absolutely demolished, and it doesn't really fit the collisions that you have. And that's my only thing that I don't enjoy about this game. You will notice while driving around the city, you'll have frame rate drops for a very slight moment, and then it'll level back out to 60 frames per second. But that is one of those things that can be fixed with a day one patch, or a first couple weeks patch, or even with a video driver. And that's really it. And I know NVIDIA will definitely be pumping out a new driver for this game, probably on release. There's already a beta driver out for it, but this is being played without that beta driver. Yeah, that was my bad. I really should have been looking where I was going. I don't really know what happens there. I went through the car. That was kind of odd. Once again, that's something that can be fixed with patches. Since this is before they've got a chance to do any patches, I'm not really going to hold any of that stuff against it, because like I said, it's all fixable, so it's nothing to really worry about. And I hate seeing those people on the forums so panicked about a game they've been so excited for. I want them to be excited. They should be excited. I think this is going to be a great game. I think it's so cool that you can hack the streetlights as you go through to sort of try and create a barricade with everybody else. I actually thought that was the coolest thing ever. And what you're going to see here is a different way to escape police chases. I'm not going to keep running. You're able to get into a car, and then you're able to sort of hide yourself away. You ain't gonna find me, coppers. I am silent like the night. Silencio. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a very short look at the game. I hope it can relieve some worries of some of the people who have been worried. Overall, get pumped, get excited. I think anyone who's been excited for this game is going to love it. Until next time, take care of yourselves, everyone, and try and stay in electric mindset.